Hey everybody, Mark here from the Average Me channel. In this video we're going to visit Atlanta, Georgia, and we're going to explore some of the Walking Dead filming locations. Now I've done this before, but I didn't make a video of it, so I know some of the places I'll be going. I only have a short time here today, so I'm going to stick to some of the things we saw in Season 1 and a couple of things from Season 5. We're really not going to get very far outside of Atlanta itself, but I think you're going to enjoy it. So here we are in Atlanta, and Walking Dead fans will recognize a building behind me as a Center for Disease Control. This is where they came. They were being attacked. Remember, there was a tank right about here, but this is actually the Cobb Center in Atlanta. So we're going to take a little look around. There's not a whole lot more to see than what you see behind me. So this is where the gang arrived, and this was the Center for Disease Control. There was a tank right in this area, and this whole place was littered with bodies, you may remember. So here we'll walk down the same sidewalk. They were actually passing through this area when they were filming. There is the building. And I believe this is the area that simulated the entrance when they were locked out and the door suddenly opened. And we can take a look back. This is where the barricades were and the tank was sitting. So here is about the same camera angle. You can compare where the tank and the barricades and all of those bodies were located, and the walkers. And this is where Rick was riding the horse. He would have been coming at me. The police barricade with the police car would have been right here, and there was a sign that said checks cashed. It was right up here. It's not there anymore. But this is right where he was first entering the city and coming up to see the tank. And one of the landmarks, you can really see these fences here. That building that says Hensi along the front is identifiable in the filming as well. And right over there, that's where the helicopter would have been. Rick passed that helicopter. There were barricades and a helicopter down on the ground, and that's where it would have been located. So behind me, you can see the pipe sign. That's a really good indicator, a landmark of where we are. Rick came riding up that street on his horse, and he passed that sign. He does it again when he's on foot, by the way, running away from all the walkers. And then he turns this corner, and right about where that white truck is where the tank was parked. So let's look at that from a different angle. And this is where you would have saw Rick coming up on his horse, and he turns the corner. And there's a car that's tipped over, and sandbags, and a tank is sitting right here. And that street probably looks really familiar to a lot of viewers of Walking Dead. This was Rick's arrival into Atlanta. And incidentally, right across the street, remember that building with the reddish burgundy top to it and a little archway? Because you'll also see that as Rick is trying to get away on the horse. And this spot right here in front of this planter is where all the walkers brought down Rick's horse. It was right in this spot where I'm standing. They were eating a horse. And if you look around you, you can see there again, is that building that has the kind of reddish maroon top over it. You can see that very clearly in a lot of the filming. And the other thing that's going to look real obvious to you is the structure of this building. You can see this building that's real apparent as they begin chasing Rick down the street. You'll see this building. I'm going to go around the corner and you'll see other indicators of this building as well. And this arched window, there's several of them, so I'm not sure exactly which one it was. I suspect that this is the arched window that you can see behind Rick as he's getting up and away from the horse, because this is where the horse was, right here, and right about there is where the tank was. All of this was set up in a very small, tight area. And there you can see the pipe sign. I'm standing right where a tank was. Imagine that, there was a real tank right here for the filming of this episode. And then behind me, you can see the different perspective. When you were looking past the top of the tank, you could see those buildings. And when Rick is very heroically standing on the tank, this is what we see in the background. So it all happened in this intersection, and I still see horse poo. You think that's from Rick's horse? Nah, that was like 7 years ago. Couldn't be. And as the camera pans away, up into the sky, and you see the four-way intersection, this is the intersection. When you can see all of the walkers eating the horse, there's the intersection. And right there is where the horse would have been. So here's a sidewalk where Rick is running. And if you watch the show, you'll see the lights behind me are very evident, as is the corner and the window right behind me. I'm standing right about where Rick was running away from all the walkers. And there behind me, you can see the gate, you can see the green wall. This is where Rick is running right before Glenn saves him. It's all still here. And of course, the walkers are ready to get Rick, and he gets rescued by Glenn. He's running, he's running, he's running, and Glenn says, "Duck in here." And this is where he runs into. This is that fence area that Glenn comes out of, and they run down this alley. And if we look very closely, right there, it's hard to see, it was yellow in the filming, but there is a staircase right there, a ladder that goes up, and that's a ladder that they climbed up. It really doesn't go up very high, but in the TV series it looked like they climbed that ladder all the way up to the top of the building. And here's a wider shot of that gate area where Glenn saved Rick. Okay, now I think we're fast forwarding to about season 5. And Carol and Daryl are on a mission. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was really important. And we see this angle from somewhere around here as Daryl and Carol are sneaking up the sidewalk. And they were sneaking up this sidewalk that I'm walking up right now. And they come up, and Daryl peeks around the corner, and he's looking up there. Let's see if we can get up there. Now, I've been here before, and I know in order to get up to that walkway, you have to go through the parking garage and take the elevator up to the second or third floor. I don't know if I can get in there today, but we'll try it. And here's where Daryl stood when he entered the parking structure. You could recognize that's the other side of the wall that he was sneaking around in. I think there was a yellow pillar there back then. Now it's white, and there's someone in there taking tickets today, so I'm not going to bother them. So I'm in the parking garage. They were just sneaking around the outside edge of this building. And then somehow they got up to that walkway. I don't think the elevator was working. But they got up there, and remember they found all the zombies living in tents and in sleeping bags? That's where we're heading. All right, here we are. This is so exciting. Those are the elevators. They're easily recognized by that green stripe, even back when that episode was filmed. If you remember these doors were covered by plywood at the time that Daryl and Carol had to get through there. So there's the elevator and the doors that were covered in plywood. Now, if we go over here, this is a passageway. This is where we saw all of the tents and the zombies that were in the sleeping bags. And down at the end is supposedly where they got into the office building. That door was chained a little bit and they had to pass through there. And this is it. I'm standing where all the zombies were camped out. They were in their sleeping bags. You can see that, I don't know if it's iconic, but very identifiable set of elevators with the green stripes behind me. And here we're walking to the door that was boarded up. You can see the lights are still the same. You can see the double doors are here. It's identified here as Southern Exchange, 200 Peach Street. And of course, I won't be able to, oh, I can get in. So here's a door that Daryl squeezed his way through. He's a lot thinner than I am. And he went into this room. Now, I don't know, I suspect that they filmed that interior someplace else, but this is the room that they went into. I think that door was supposed to be locked, but I think that the lock failed, and that's why I was able to get in here. So to give you some perspective, and by the way, you can recognize a parking structure in some scenes, even in the walkway scenes. You can see that behind Daryl. There are the elevators. We passed through this set of doors, and this is where we ended up. As I said, I'm not certain. I suspect the interior scenes were filmed somewhere else. But this place is empty as empty can be. I wonder if I'll get in trouble for being here. It's quite interesting. Okay, and now we're running out. I forgot somebody caught us, right? I forgot who it was. Someone from the hospital. And here, they slit the tent and they let all of the walkers out. And we had to run. We're running now with Carol and Daryl. And we had to get through this door, covered with plywood. So that's our trip to Atlanta and a visit to some Walking Dead filming sites. Does anybody notice anything different? Yes, I'm wearing a different shirt. I forgot to tape the outro, so here it is. In any case, I hope you enjoyed our visit. And I'm going to try to do some more when I have the opportunity. I really love to visit filming locations and filming sites. I'm Mark with the Average Meat Channel. Thanks for watching.